Okay, guys, so we're back. Hi, Alice. Hi, Andy, Juanita, Vero, Natalia, Eric, Angela. Hi, Rocio. Hi, Ana. Juan Jose, Jessie, Cristina, Fanny, Joel, Pamela. We are back. Okay, so what are we doing now? We were describing places, right? We were talking about descriptions, about how to describe a place. We actually were describing the place where we are from, the place where we are living now, and that is this, right? We were doing this in Padlet. So please do not forget to add your description. These are the descriptions some of you already did, and the ones we were going through. I was showing you some of the ones who are done. And so you don't forget to do, you can do it now, so you don't have to do it later. This is Fanny's. Oh, nice. I like the picture, Fanny, about Guayaquil. And this is Guayaquil too. That's Veronica. Baba Hoyo. Nice, Alice. Why did you describe Baba Hoyo? Are you from Baba Hoyo? Alice, can you read your description? Because it was interesting to see that someone did something different than Guayaquil, right? Can you read yours? I like the picture. This is how it looks in Christmas time with the decorations and lights. Alice, can you read it? Can you explain your description?
Yes, sorry, miss. I have problems with my audio,
Oh,
so
okay. Okay.
uh,
Thank you.
it is the capital of the province of Los Rios. It's a small city. It has good places to eat and have fun. Although it doesn't have many tourist places to really visit, the best thing that it was where the encebollado was created.
Really? Why did I
Yes,
know? And everyone thinks that it's from Guayaquil,
yes,
right?
but was
Smart.
here.
Really? That's
Yes.
nice. But really nice to know this interesting facts about Baba Hoyo. Really good. Thank you so much. And that was Alice. This is Angela's description about the city. Salinas. Andy, why did you describe Salinas? Are you from Salinas?
Yes.
Oh, nice. So what can you say about your city?
About what?
What could you say about your city?
Ah, my city.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm from Santa Elena. It's a small city in the west of Ecuador. It has a beautiful places and wonderful beaches where you can go and relax.
Mhm.
The people are very kind and in everywhere.
Okay.
The weather used to be strange. One day is hot and the next day could be fresh or cold. I love the city because it's quiet and you always has the best view.
Obviously, yeah, you have the best view from the sea, from the ocean, all the blue, So I mean, it's a contrast between the blue from the sea and the blue from the sky. So
Yeah.
it's really nice. It's beautiful. Thank you, Andy. Thanks for sharing something about your city, right? Because everybody's describing Guayaquil because we are living in here, right? But this is interesting to get to know other cities, right? Besides uh, the one we are right now. Good. So do not forget, please, if some of you have not add a description about a city, it might be about another city. It might be from a city you like, a city you maybe you have been to, or if you want to do it from the city you're living now, it's fine. But please do not forget to add these descriptions, okay? So this is Padlet. Let me, you know what? Let me do something. Let me share the link. Let me open WhatsApp web, right? So I can share the link to Padlet in the WhatsApp group, right? So if you could not do the activity today, or maybe within the session, you can still have the access through the WhatsApp group. Okay, just give me one moment. Let me join WhatsApp web from here so I can share the link in the group. I think it's easy, right? So you will not forget. Let me see. Go to Padlet. Let me copy the link. And let me go to WhatsApp. Okay. Link for your city description. Okay, so you won't forget. Okay, so if anyone or someone wants to still do the activity, there's the link in the WhatsApp group for everybody to do it. Okay, Pamela is coming back now. So let's go back to Moodle once again. See, we were still working on 5B, right? There's still something we haven't done about 5B, but I think it would be better to do it in the slides first, okay? So let me go back to my slides. Okay, this is what we are doing now. Talking about places description, right? These are some places that can be found within a city. So what is there to see? So there's different places, right? Different words to describe places. These words could be castle, such as castle, department stores, cathedral, a church, market, a mosque, a shopping center, a town hall, a palace, a temple, a statue, a museum, or a department store. I think I already mentioned that one. So these different places are classified into religious buildings, into places where you can buy things, or into historic buildings and monuments, okay? So if we are describing a city, we're describing the city where you are living, the city where you're from, and if you would like to add, has a touristic attraction, that your city has a shopping center. In Guayaquil, we have a lot of shopping centers, right? I think this is the city where the most number of shopping centers in the country. And if you want to say, if you want to emphasize that your city has a religious building, such as it could be a church or a cathedral, these are words you could use to provide a very good description, a very specific description. So within these places, which of these could be religious buildings? And this is what I want you, a mosque. So what is it, a mosque? Is it a church or not? Can you explain? I think religious buildings are named differently according to the religion, right? So if you are Catholic, we usually go to a church, right? But if you belong to another religious, right, another religion, you might not go to a church. You might go to a mosque, right? But again, it's a religious building, right? It's named differently because the religion is not the same, right? So it's named, we use a different word for that. So this is what I want you to help me to do now. Okay, so can you please write the words into the right category? Let me share the slides again, the access with you. If you lost it, if you join again, the access is in the Zoom chat, okay? And do not forget to add your name again. And please, okay, good. Places where you can buy things. Can you name some of them? Dianita, what do you think? Places where people usually buy things. How do you call these places? Bianca. Can you name some of the historic buildings and monuments? One is given already, a castle, right? Okay, which could be another words that could be categorized into historic buildings and touristic places. Good. So a religious building might be a mosque, right? A temple. Okay. Is there any other religious building? Words? Okay. What is it a shopping center, Angela? How is it a shopping center different than a market, for example?
I think that the shopping center have more things than a supermarket.
In a shopping center, you can buy from food, clothing, cars, electric appliances, kitchen appliances, toys, anything, right? So there's more products to buy. The place is bigger too, right? Much bigger than a market. What do you usually buy in a market?
I only think about food or about things of house, maybe.
Yeah, so I mean, in a market, we usually buy food, right? Or things related, things we use within the house. It might be fruits, it might be vegetables, it might be oil, it might be something. Usually, you buy things for cooking, right? But if you go to a shopping center, you can buy anything. There's much more, right? So that might be the difference. And the place, a market is much smaller than a shopping center, right? Okay. What is the difference? Is there any other words? So religious places, only a church, a mosque, and a temple. That's it. Is there any other words related to religious buildings? Good. So what is the difference between a church and a cathedral? That's an interesting question. How can you explain the difference? Gabby.
The size, maybe.
The size, yes, of course, Juana. What is it bigger, the church or the cathedral?
Cathedral.
Cathedral is bigger.
The cathedral is bigger than a church, right? That might be the difference. It's bigger. What could we say about a cathedral that is different than a church? What about the architecture? The place itself, the building. We could say that it's older, right? Maybe. Cathedrals are usually hundreds of years old, right? So they're much older, they're antique. And churches might be modern, might be newer, right? If we talk about the construction, right? And they might be newer than cathedrals, right? So that could be a comparison and a description. Why? Let's talk about historic buildings and monuments. Is there any other words? So we have the word castle, museums. Is there any other historic buildings? I think we're missing. A palace. Okay. A palace might be an historic building, right? Because these are old buildings. Okay, good. Good, Diana. Is there any other historic buildings and monument words? I think we're missing words. Thank you, Dianita. So we have castles, museums, and palaces. But we have one more. I think we're missing one. Have you ever seen Guayaquil's town hall in the center of the city near to Malecón 2000? I think it's close, right? Have you seen the place? I mean, the building is a historic building because it wasn't built 10 years ago or 20 years ago. It was built much longer ago. So it's is an antique place, right? It's an historic place because this is where the Independence Act was signed, and it was the place where the founders of the city, you know, they discussed about a bit about the agreement of the city being independent, maybe, right? So we could actually add the town hall to historic buildings too. If there are any other words missing, I think we're missing more words. Said, what do you think? I think there's a word missing in places where you can buy things. I think there's one more missing. Because we have market, we have shopping center, but we're missing one more, I believe. Which is the one missing? Natalia? No? Said? Eduardo? Anita?
Department store.
So how is a department store different than a shopping center? How can we explain the difference? How can we describe it? And how are they different? Because it's not the same, right? If we talk about the Prati, is the Prati a shopping center or is the Prati a department store?
A department store.
The Prati is a department store because the Prati is a store that has different sections, right? There's the kids section, women's section, house house product section. There's a toy section. There is a bathroom. Within home, there's products for the bathroom, products for the living room. There's like decorations. So within the department store, it has different sections, right? In different places where you can find specific products related to that section. So that is a department store. But the shopping center could have different department stores because it has the Prati, but besides the Prati, there's Eta Fashion, there's Pika, which is another department store because it has different sections too. So that might be the difference. A shopping center is bigger than a department store, much bigger. Okay, now that we have tried to identify the words in here, in the slides, let's go back to Muru. And this is actually a quiz in Muru. And that is the last vocabulary bank. It's this one, vocabulary bank 3A. Okay, it's exactly the same. So in here we need to put the orders. I mean to organize the different words in the right column in alphabetical order. So we have to take. We have to be cautious and be careful when we are organizing the different words. What should go first? Which words can go after according to the alphabetical order? So what about religious buildings? What is the first one? Jessica, can you help me? If we talk about religious buildings, what could be the first?
Church.
Okay, because with the letter C, right? Church, and then? I think cathedral, right? Instead of church, right? So because it's CA, right? Cathedral, right? Because it's CA and then it would be church. Así, ahí está bien.
Yes.
I think, right? And after church, what could go after that? Which one?
Temple.
Is it temple or mosque? Because we have to organize them, mosque, right? Because we have to organize them into alphabetical order. So then it will be mosque and then temple.
What is mosque?
A mosque is like a religious temple. But which religion is the one that people go to the mosque? There's a specific religion. Which one?
Jews.
Muslims, right? So if you're Muslim, you don't go to a cathedral, you don't go to a church, you go to the mosque. So this is kind of the religious building for Muslims. Okay. What about places where you can buy things? What could be the first one?
Department store.
Department store.
Okay, department, because it's letter D, right? And then
Market.
market because it has the letter M. And then finally,
Shopping center.
shopping center because it has the letter S, right? So department store, market, and shopping center. And what about historic buildings? What could be the first one? What do you think?
Castle.
Which one? Castle, right? Because it's with letter C, right? Castle, and then another historic building or monuments. Which one?
Museum.
Ah, the museum. Okay, museum. Okay, any other after museum?
Palace.
Palace. Okay, and after palace? In alphabetical order? A statue, right? It's a statue, right? And then the last one? I think there's one more missing. We're missing before palace. Is there any other? Mosque is not, it's done. Castle is done. Shopping center is done. Palace.
Hall.
But so palace should be first, right? And then town hall. But before town hall, I think there's one more. No.
Statue.
Statue, right? Statue and then town hall. Is it good like this? Ahí sí estamos. Is it fine? Or is it something we have to change? I think we're fine, right? Castle, museum, palace, statue, and then town hall. And they have been aligned into alphabetical order, right? Okay, let me see if you are trying it now. I think you are, right? Jessie, okay. Fanny, let's see Fanny's attempt. Okay, castle, museum, palace, statue, and town hall. Okay, department store, market, and shopping center, cathedral, church, mosque, or temple. Okay, there was an outage.
2.48. What is there to see?
Okay.
Religious buildings.
Religious buildings.
Cathedral.
Cathedral,
Church. Mosque.
mosque,
Temple.
temple. So we're fine.
Places where you can buy things.
Mhm.
Department store. Market.
Market,
Shopping centre.
shopping center. Okay.
Historic buildings
And
and
monuments.
monuments.
Castle.
Museum,
Museum. Palace.
palace,
Statue.
statue,
Town hall.
town hall. Okay. So this is how they should be pronounced, and this is how they should be organized according to the alphabetical order. So I think we're fine. We're fine. And then after this one, I think that was the last vocabulary practice. But then there is a writing description, okay? In here, we have to write a description about the place where you live. So in here, there's only one attempt, okay? Why is there only one attempt? Because I already asked you to do the description in Padlet. So if you did it in Padlet, you should be ready to add the description in here. So I gave you 20 minutes. So if you have to add, if you need to add something else, if you want to add a place that now we know the words, if you want to describe a statue or maybe the town hall or maybe the cathedral, If you want to add that kind of information, you can add it within the description you already did, right? So in here, there's only one attempt. If you want to do it at the end of the session, if you want to do it now, you can try it now. So you don't have to do it later. But in here, there's only one attempt, 20 minutes. And since it was already done, right? That's why I asked you to do it before. I asked you to do it in here in Padlet. So by the time we have to go to Moodle, we are ready, okay? In Moodle, they don't ask you for the picture, but in here, I wanted you to add the picture. So it is the description might be meaningful, right? Might be relevant, might be something that we can actually understand the description by looking at the picture. But in Moodle, you don't have to add any pictures. No hay que poner ninguna imagen, but they want you to add a description. So if Andy already did it about Salinas, you can use the same. If you want to add more information, you can always write a little bit more. The more you write, the more words you can use. And if you try to write a little bit more, you are pushing yourself, right, to produce more. So if you want to do it like that, you can do it, okay? So this is the description I want you to do in here. So I think there's someone who already did it. Veronica, good. So how can I check this? I have to go into the attempt and I should be able to see your description in here, okay? Try to write at least more than 50 words, at least. By now, you should be able to write at least 100 words. The more you write, you have to read it again. Once you finish writing, read it. And if you need to correct something, if there is a word that has been misspelled, if there is something about the punctuation, something about the spelling that you can read again, usually you can ask someone to read it for you. If another person understands and you understand, then you can find another mistakes and you can correct the mistakes. So this is what I want you to do in here, okay? So there is only one person who already did it. If you want to do it now, go ahead, para que no se olvide, luego se le olvida. So if you want to do it now, it's fine. Do it now, okay? And that is the end of, I believe this is the end of Unit 5B. Okay, there's nothing else for 5B. We did everything. We did the vocabulary section. And as you can see, this is the last section. This is the writing. And where it says My City, write your own description, this is the access to the activity in Padlet. So you can find it through Moodle too. And these are the class activities. This is where you can find the slides. So if you lost the link, you can find the link in the platform. It's in here. So this is the Padlet activity, and these are the class activities. Okay, let me stop sharing my screen now so we can go to Unit 5C. Okay. Just give me 1 second. Okay, so while you finish writing your description, I'll show you how Unit 5C looks like, okay? 1 second. And this is Unit 5C. So in here, there's a lot of speaking activities, okay? So these are questions about your lifestyle. So we're gonna be speaking about diet and lifestyle. Now that we are about to finish 2023, we usually have some goals, right? Some different challenges that we want to, we would like to do when we are about to start a new year, right? There's always, and these are called resolutions. So usually you think like, oh, another year is about to start. So next year, I want to do this, 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 and this, and these are my New Year's resolutions. So if maybe you were doing something that was not healthy for you, you always have the chance to start from zero, brand new, a brand new year, a brand new you. a brand new lifestyle, which is more healthy. So this could be something that we can discuss right now. Okay. So what about you and your diet and your lifestyle? Do you usually exercise? Do you practice a sport? How much coffee do you drink? Because we usually drink coffee in the mornings, right? Some people drink coffee more than once a day. So these are some questions that we're going to talk about. So Juan Jose, do you drink coffee? Do you like coffee?
Yes.
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 Yes, miss.
Okay. How many cups do you drink a day? Usually. How many cups of coffee?
Regular.
How many? One? Because usually how many cups of coffee do people drink every day? One? Or more than one? Two, right? Sometimes you drink coffee in the mornings, but then at 6 o'clock, you're like, oh, I feel like I'm having another coffee, right? At 6 or 7, or maybe at night. If you need to study and you need to stay awake, right? Porque ya le da sueño, ya está así. But then you have to study. So sometimes people drink coffee to stay alert, right? To stay awake. So you might drink more than 1 cup of coffee every day. Who drinks more than 1 cup of coffee? Rocio, how many cups of coffee do you drink every day?
Miss, I'm sorry. I disconnect. I feel back. I have.
Really? What happened?
Yes.
So you're not feeling well? No. Okay.
No, tengo migraña.
Oh, okay. Okay, you have headache. That's a headache.
Mhm.
Okay, okay, Rocio, don't worry. Don't worry. I hope you feel better soon. Okay. Pero, so how many cups of coffee do you drink every day?
2 cups of coffee per day.
2 cups. What kind of coffee? What kind of coffee?
The coffee is very
Dark coffee? Just like black coffee.
yes, black coffee.
Okay. How many cups of sugar? How many cups? How many spoons of sugar? How much sugar do you add in the coffee?
3.
Okay, 3 spoons. Okay, good. Because there's people who like coffee without sugar, so that's why I'm asking. Angelita, how many cups of coffee do you drink every day?
Just one.
And what kind of coffee do you like?
I don't know.
Because I mean, myself, I like coffee with a little bit of milk. So coffee with milk and sugar.
I like coffee with chocolate and milk.
Oh, that's nice. So do you know that it's called, I think that's called
Mochaccino.
mochaccino, right? That's nice.
Mm.
When you add coffee and a little bit of cocoa powder, right? Like chocolate.
Yes.
That's nice. But only once a day. Only 1 cup.
Yes.
Okay, good. Talking about how much you spend in the sun. I mean, I think if we are living in Guayaquil, it's sunny every day. Most of the days are sunny, right? In other countries, usually not every day. I mean, sunny days might not happen every day, like in here, right? So when they ask about the time you spend a day in the sun, when could this happen? In the winter, in the summer, or when you are on a holiday? What do you think?
In the summer.
in the summer, right? But if we're living in Ecuador, we only have 2 seasons. So it could be either winter or summer, right? There's now spring or autumn, and usually days are sunny most of the time, right? Good. Do you always wear sunscreen? This is interesting. Juanita, do you wear sunscreen every day or not every
Yes.
day? Really? Oh, that's good.
When I go outside.
When you go outside, because we might think that sunscreen is just when you go to the beach, right? But I mean, it's not really, it's necessary to wear it every day, because once you go outside, your skin might be affected by the sun rays, right? Good. So that is a good healthy habit to wear sunscreen. Let me see, who likes video games? I think Andy likes video games, right? Because he was talking about the PS5, I think. Andy, do you play a lot of video games? And how much time do you?
Sometimes.
How long? How many hours can you spend playing a week, for example?
A week. I don't know. Not too much. 5 hours at the week.
Maybe because you have to study, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe you don't have that much time to play. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't have too much. But yeah.
What are your favorite computer games or video games?
Grand Theft Auto. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know about that one, but I think it might be nice because you like it.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you, Andy. Eduardo, do you like computer games or not?
Yes, I like.
Really? What are your favorite games? Is there a favorite you can name?
Like strategy games.
Okay, okay. And how much time do you spend a week playing them?
Only in my vacation.
And how many hours that could be? 2 hours or?
Like 2-3 hours.
Okay, okay, not too much, because
Not too much,
usually
yeah.
when people like video games, I mean, they can spend the whole day playing, and they don't even realize. Sometimes they don't realize.
That's a
all the
luxury.
time. But I think that will not happen when you are in college, right? Maybe when you're in high school, because you have more time, I think.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. Who likes chocolate? Do you like chocolate? Jessie, Christina. Christina, do you like chocolate? Who likes chocolate?
Me.
Me. Who said me? Bianca? No.
No. Angela.
Oh, Angelita, what kind of chocolate do you like?
I like dark chocolate.
Okay. Do you have a special brand that you like?
What?
Do you like do you have any special brand like I don't know, like M&M's or like Snickers?
Hershey's.
Oh, Hershey's. Yeah, those are really, really nice. Okay, good. What about, I mean, this last question, how many hours do you watch TV? I think, do you watch TV? I think we are not watching TV anymore, right? I think, as I said before, the book is old. Instead of asking how many hours do you watch TV, we can update that question and we could say, how many hours do you spend on social media, for example? How many hours can you spend on Instagram? Saeed, what about you?
I don't watch TV. I watch series, but not in TV, but in the platform.
In the platform, right?
Stream.
Yeah, I think the book is old because the book, I think it's very old, right? Because nowadays people are not really watching TV too much, right? As 20 years ago, I think we are spending more time on platforms, right? So you mentioned Netflix. Do you have any special or any favorite films or series that you like?
Yes, mm, my favorite series now is the Lucien. That is my favorite series now.
Oh,
It's
what is
in
it
Netflix.
about? What is it about?
It's about apocalypse world in a future.
Okay.
Because a torment, yeah, because a torment attacked the planet and the
So it's kind of a
and then sending a people to the space, and these
Okay.
peoples go back to the planet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So,
before to the apocalypse.
oh, okay. So it's kind of an apocalyptic world, right? Where people are
Yes.
sent back and forth. That's nice.
Yes.
That's interesting, right? This is kind of a fantasy, science fiction, right? Could be called
Yes.
that. Okay, good, good. Thank you so much. Let me see, Bianca, do you like chocolate?
Yes, I love
What
chocolate.
kind of chocolate is the one you like the most?
The milk.
Oh,
The
milk chocolate. Okay. Who you drink it? Do you like to eat it just like a bar or in cakes or like liquid chocolate?
I prefer in the milk, in the milk.
Okay.
With coffee, I prefer.
Oh, nice. Like mochaccino, like what Angelita was saying, right? Hot with a little bit of coffee. That's nice. So this is what we are talking about. This is kind of a diet. I mean, who exercise? Is there someone in here that goes to the gym? Alice, Vero, Natalia, maybe Eduardo. Do you exercise? Do you practice any sports? Juanita, Diana? No. Anna, do you go to the gym?
Please repeat.
Yes, miss.
Do you exercise? Do you usually have a like fit lifestyle or not? Do you practice any sports?
Yes, but only in vacation because I don't have time.
Really? Because sometimes there's people who goes to the gym very early in the morning, or some people go to the gym at night when they are back from work because of the time, right? So what do you think you don't have time? Why do you think it's difficult to find that time to go to the gym, for example? Do you think it is really, I mean, is it really helpful going to the gym, or you can do it from home? You can exercise from home. Is it the same or not?
No, not the same.
Right? Why is it not the same according to you?
Because in my house it's very I don't have the machines.
Okay, the equipment, right?
Yeah.
Because you usually need specific equipment. And sometimes you don't have the space, right? What could be another, I mean, something that prevents you from exercising from home, for example? Alice, what do you think? Is it the same going to the gym or just like doing exercise at home? Does it work?
I don't know if you have the things to work, but the gym is better, I think.
Yeah. Why do you think it's better than just working out from home? I think at home you might get too many distractions, right? Because if you're
Yes.
hungry, yeah, if you're hungry, then you go to the kitchen. Then if you want to go to the bathroom, okay, no, I have to go to the bathroom. Then someone is calling you, and then okay, no, let me have my, and then you might have to work, then you might have to study, then you might, so there might be too many interruptions, right? Too many distractions. So then if you are in the gym, you are just focused on doing your workout. and you have everything, right? You have the equipment, you have the machines, you have the proper clothing, the proper space. I think it might be better, but it might be more expensive too because you have to pay. But if you are doing it at home, you don't have to pay, right? So those might be different opinions about different about lifestyle. Do you think any of your habits are unhealthy? This is interesting. Which of the habits you are doing every day might be unhealthy? And you know they are unhealthy. Which of the things you do every day might be unhealthy? Maybe spending too much time on social media. It might be not going to the gym. It might be the way you eat. What do you think about your diet? Is it healthy or unhealthy? Gabby, what do you think? The way you eat or the food you eat, is it healthy or not? This is interesting. Jessica, what do you think?
Not.
I'm sorry, there was someone speaking. Alice. No, I don't know if it was Alice or Bianca. Do you think you have unhealthy habits?
Yes.
Which one?
I don't know. Usually in Guayaquil, I eat McDonald's, stuff like this.
Junk
Like
food,
that.
right? Yeah, that is called
Yeah.
junk food. Eating too much fried food, maybe. Because if you live in a city like this, there's a lot of food everywhere. You step outside, there's chicken, there's shawarmas, there's pizza, there's coffees and desserts, and there's everything. So you walk just one street and there's food everywhere. I think this city is amazing by the amount of food places it has. So it's easy to eat unhealthy. Very easy. So, and it might happen to everyone, right? What do you think? Natalia, do you have any unhealthy habits that you think, oh no, in 2024, I am going to eat better. I am going to go to the gym. I will do exercise. I will walk. I don't know, something you want to change or do differently in 2024. Or sometimes we always say the same, right? I'm gonna lose some weight. But it's hard, right? Because you have some unhealthy habits. So this is going to be the first activity. Let me see. Let me show you my slides because I think it is better to see it from the slides than from here. These are some questions, but this is the reading. It's a little reading activity, and it's about healthy habits. So the title it is called "Everything Bad is Good for You." So why is it something that we think it might be bad? It might not be that bad. It might be good actually for people. So what about coffee, for example? Who wants to start reading? Fanny, can you read? Can you read about coffee? Or Joel, can you read?
Coffee. We all know that a cup of coffee helps to wake you up in the morning. But several studies show that drinking coffee helps to prevent some illness like diabetes and Parkinson. These issues. Experts say that you can safely drink 3 cups of espresso during the day, but if you drink too much coffee, it can make you feel anxious or keep you awake
at night, right? So that's what it is thought that coffee is not really good for people's health, right? Because we might think that too much coffee might make you feel anxious, right? Because you're like, You get, some people get nervous or get like too anxious, but actually coffee has some benefits. According to these experts, coffee might prevent people from some illnesses such as diabetes or Parkinson's disease. Is it true? According to the experts, it might not be that bad for your health. So that is what they said about coffee, about drinking coffee. But what do you think? Is it that it's bad, or it depends on the amount of cup of coffee you drink every day? What do you think? Is it true or not?
But depend the cup you drink per day.
Yeah, right. Because if you drink 1 cup of coffee, I think it might not be bad, right? But if you drink 8 cups of coffee every day, or more than 5 or 10, then if it's too much, it can be bad, right? Everything in which is in huge amounts, it might be not good for your body. So it might be true. If you drink 1, it's fine. If you drink too much, it might not be that fine. It makes sense, right? What about sunlight? Jessica, can you read, please? What do the experts said about sunlight?
Sunlight. Spending a long time in the sun in the house and can give you skin cancer. But on the other hand, not spending enough time in the sun is also bad for you, as sunlight helps produce vitamin D. This vitamin is important for strong bones and the healing immune system, and they also make people feel happy. Nowadays, many people don't get enough sunlight because they wear sunscreen at the time, especially on their face. However, don't spend too long in the sun. 16 minutes a day without sunscreen in a healing amount are not admitted.
Okay. So what does it mean? Is it sunlight bad for you, or it could, or what do the experts said about sunlight? What do they think about adding too much sunscreen every day? If you are not getting enough sunlight, what could happen? What could be the dangerous consequences? Do I have any medical students or someone who knows about the body and about medicine? Is it really true or not? What do you think? Anita,
True.
why? Why it should be true? According to them, 15 minutes a day without sunscreen, not at 12 o'clock, right? At 12 a.m. when the sun is too strong, can be healthy. Why?
Because the sunlight is very important for the body, because he mentioned the vitamin D that is important for the healthy immune system, and when you spend a long time in the sunlight for many days or many time, it's cause problems in the health, in the skin principal.
Yeah. So if you spend too much time in the sunlight without protection, your skin can be in danger, right? I mean, the worst consequences might be that you can get skin cancer, right? But that's the most, I think that's one of the worst consequences, right? When there's like too much exposure to the sunlight. But when the body doesn't have enough sunlight, the body might be missing vitamin D. And vitamin D is, I mean, it might be helpful for the immune system, right? If you want your body to feel safe against any disease, if you want your body to fight any bacteria, you need vitamin D. You need to have a healthy immune system. So again, too much might be dangerous, right? But if you don't get at least some sunlight, it might be dangerous too. So there should be a balance, right? A balance. 15 minutes a day, fine. But if you keep wearing sunscreen all the time, if you're not getting any sunlight in your body, it might be dangerous too. So this is interesting, very interesting. But what do the experts say? Okay, I'm sorry. What do the experts think about computer games? Because we, as parents, we think that computer games are always bad, right? Always bad for kids. But according to the scientists, according to the experts, there might be something good about computer games. Who wants to read? Is there anyone? No?
I want to read.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Okay. Computer games.
Yes.
You probably worry about how much time you or your children was playing computer games. But in fact, some studies show that these games can help us learn important skills. It seems that computer games simulate the brain and that people who often play them are probably better at solving problems and making quick decisions. But don't spend too many hours in front of the computer, not more than about 2 hours a day.
A day, and we're spending 4 hours in here. So this is not that, so we're being really contradictional, right? We're contradicting ourselves. But I didn't know. I mean, 2 hours. This is interesting. But in fact, we're spending, how many hours do we spend in front of the computer? And let's not think about the classes. I mean, every day, any day. How many hours can you spend? 1 hour, 2, 3. I think I spend like 4 hours at least, or 5. If I could make a statistics about the time I spend in front of the computer, I think it's like it shouldn't be less than 6 hours every day. So, but according to scientists, what do they say about computer games and kids? Or computer games and the brain, how it might be beneficial for the brain? What could be the benefits of computer games? Bianca,
The benefits. They solving problems and making quick decisions.
So it might be helpful to stimulate the brain. If you need to take a decision, you might think faster, right? You might think faster, and you might be able to develop some skills, such as it says stimulate the brain, problem solving, and they said something else, and brain stimulation, and making quick decisions. Because if you are playing, you have to decide quickly, right? You have to think quickly, and that quickly thinking might stimulate the brain. So there might be something beneficial. But what could be the advice? How many hours a day should children play, for example? What do you think?
No more than 2 hours of the day.
No more than 2 hours. And usually as parents, maybe if I know I have some medical students, I think that we need to monitor, right, the amount of time kids spend on this electronic devices. Sometimes we don't realize, and time keeps going, right? It might be 5 hours, 8 hours, 9 hours, 12 hours, and we don't really know. That if it's too much, it could be dangerous. But if it's not too much, it might be beneficial. Okay, and maybe the type of computer games, right? Because there might be computer games which might stimulate the brain, but there might be other games that will not really help, right? So this is interesting, maybe for the medical students. Again, these are some words related to the body, right? And these highlighted words, if you look at the reading, there are some words which were highlighted in yellow, and the words could be prevent, illnesses, anxious, skin, bones, faces, brain, and in here, they give you some pictures and they want you to match them to a picture or definition. And we have number 1. What could be number 1? Which word from the highlighted words? Can you help me writing them? Because I think there's one. What could be the first one? According to the picture. For the first 3, they give you the picture and they want you to write the name. What about number 2 and number 3? So which words can go there? Let me share the link again.
Bones.
It could be bones, right? Because it looks like an X-ray, but I think it's the bone from your arm, right? Because this shows you like this, right? Bones. What about number 2? Okay, thank you, Said. What about number 2? What could be the word? And these are all this is taken from the words that are highlighted from the reading. So what could be the second one? And what about number 3? When they talk about computer games, they mention, right, that can be stimulated, the brain, right? And when they talk about the sunlight and the sunscreen that you usually wear on your, right, too much could be dangerous. Not getting enough could be dangerous, but getting too much sun into your skin, right? Good. The brain, yeah. So number 3 is the brain. And what about number 2?
The skin.
Your face, right? If you look at the picture, they show the number 2. I mean, the number is just in front of someone's face, right? Good, good. What about number 4? For number 4, they give you the definition, but they want you to write the name of the word. Noun, it covers the outside of a person's body. It's a noun. It covers the outside of someone's body. How do you call this?
Skin.
The skin. It covers all your body, right? The skin is what protects the internal organs from being exposed, right? It covers everything. It covers your bones, it covers your organs, it covers your brain. Everything is covered by your skin, right? Good. What about number 5? It's a verb.
Prevent.
To stop something from happening, to prevent. So, but when you are not drinking too much coffee, when you are wearing sunscreen or having sun for 15 minutes, or when you're playing computer games for just 2 hours, you are preventing bad consequences on your body, right? If you do things within the normal amount of time or something that is enough, you will not have negative consequences, right? You're preventing something from happening. And what about number 6? It's a noun again, something which makes you unwell.
Illness.
An illness. Usually when you're ill, you can feel fever, you can feel your body aching, you can feel nauseous, you can feel dizzy. So these are symptoms that are caused by an illness, right? And can make your body not feeling well. What about number 7? It's an adjective, and it says a feeling worried or nervous. What could be another word?
Anxious.
anxious. Good. That's it. This is it. So these are words that can be useful for people who are in the medical field, right? If you want to relate or you want to describe illnesses or parts of the body, these words might help. And they might help everyone when describing or when talking about illnesses. Okay, and that is, I think that's the first quiz. Let me see. Let me stop sharing this now and let's go back to Moodle. Let me see. Okay, so let's go back to Moodle again. And this is where we are. This is actually the first quiz, right? Because we were just talking about lifestyle and different habits, healthy and unhealthy habits. And then this is the first quiz. It's called 2B. There's some people who already try it, but it's exactly the same. So in here, they want you to look at the words related to health and the body, and they want you to match them to a picture or definition. And this is exactly what we were doing on the slides, the same. Okay, so I want you to try it now. Okay, Yasid did it, Andy, Angela. Okay, good. Bianca and Juanita. But I think I have more people missing. What about Ana, Christian, Diana, Ivan, Fanny, Gaby, Jessica, Joel? Where is Joel? Natalia, Pamela, Vero, and Bianca. Said, I think Said is done. Yasid, where is it, Yasid? Did you do it? Okay, he did it. Uh-huh. Okay. Let me see. Ana Cristina and Jessica. Yeah, do it now because then you might forget later. So let's do it now. Okay. Good. Alice, Diana, Juan Jose, Jessica. Okay, so most of you are done. Let me see what comes next. That was just the first quiz. But okay, before we try the grammar section, let me explain something. Let me go back to my slides again. There's something I want you to, you might know this, but again, it's useful to review this information. There is a difference when we were talking about sunlight, computer games, coffee, chocolate. What is it enough, not enough, or too much? What could be the difference? When you are not getting enough of something, you might feel sad, right? Look at the guy's face. Just one. So he might think, not enough, right? Enough, it means that he's satisfied, right? If we're talking about food and it's not enough, you might still feel hungry, right? Uy, no me llené. It wasn't enough, right? I didn't have enough food, so I still feel hungry. But if I am eating enough, I might feel fine, right? Me siento bien. Look at the guy's face. Está satisfecho, right? But when you have if you have eaten too much or if you have drunk too much, this might be the consequences, right? So 1 shot, fine. 4, enough. But if he hasn't 1, 2, oh, well, let me see how many bottles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bottles. That was too much. And that might be the consequences. Mire cómo terminó. Horrible. So this is the difference about not enough, enough, or too much, right? Too many or too much, it depends on if you can count the items or if you cannot count it. If you cannot count it, you will say that is too much. If you can count the bottles, you could say that he has drunk too many bottles of wine, for example. Or that was too much wine. Enough, si fue lo suficiente. So that might be the difference. And these are called quantifiers. Quantifiers is what help us to describe if something, if it's the amount of something. It could be work, it could be food, it could be time, it could be sleep. So are we getting enough or not? I'm stressed. I have too much work. That's why I'm stressed. He talks too much. Demasiado. Too much. My diet is unhealthy. I eat too many cakes and sweets. So, la diferencia aquí entre el too much y el too many, cuando queremos describir algo, pero que algo que podemos contabilizar y algo que no podemos contabilizar. I might say that I talk too much porque yo no puedo contar las palabras que digo, no estoy contando el tiempo, solamente digo que hablo mucho, una persona que habla demasiado. Pero si yo digo, I eat too many cakes, yo a los cakes los puedo contar. O cuando, por ejemplo, decimos, too much salt is bad for you. Mucha sal, ¿no? A la sal no la podemos contar. No podemos contar cuántos granititos de sal. Something we cannot count is salt, sugar, sand. No podemos contar tampoco cuántos granitos de arena, ¿no? Es algo que no se cuenta generalmente. Solamente se dice too much. Pero si yo puedo contar algo, entonces ahí sí digo too many cakes, too many bottles, puedo contar las botellas, too many glasses, puedo contar los vasos que me he tomado. But if I just talk about the liquid, right? El líquido no lo puedo contar. Entonces digo, too much water, too much wine, too much beer, que ha tomado demasiado. No lo estoy contando, que es el líquido. So that might be the difference. We use too much or too many or too to say that more than is good. Algo que es mucho, que lo estamos o consumiendo demasiado, o bebiendo demasiado, o comiendo demasiado, o durmiendo demasiado, para algo que enfatizar eso, ¿no? Específicamente eso. Too much for uncountable nouns, lo que les estaba explicando. Too much coffee, too much time, que no se puede contar, ¿no? Así, físicamente. Or after a verb. O we use too many plus countable nouns, cosas que yo puedo contar. I can count too many cakes. I can count how many glasses of wine, how many bottles, how many slices, si quisiera cortar los pedacitos, puedo contar. How many people, puedo contar a las personas. O we use too plus an adjective, I'm too much tired. So, el too con un adjetivo también como para expresar algo que estoy demasiado. I'm too tired. I am too happy, también puedo decir. I am too excited. Or enough, do you eat enough vegetables? I don't drink enough water. She doesn't sleep enough. My fridge isn't big enough. Okay, no es lo suficientemente o lo suficiente. Okay, so we use enough before a noun to mean that it's all that is necessary. We use enough with after a verb with no object, or we use enough after an adjective or an adverb. So these are the rules, right? Those are the rules, but this is something to practice. Let me see. Let's go to the first one. Let me share this with you very quickly. Okay, let me go to the chat and in here. So this is the first one. If I want you to try it from your own devices, from your own computer. Please try it now. Let me share this with you. Okay. So now, what could be too many or too much? Something you can count or something you cannot count. Okay, what about too many?
Cookies.
Yes. Cookies, we can count cookies. Too many cookies.
Yogurt, too much.
Yogurt too much, porque no es que contamos el yogur, ¿no? Porque es líquido, right? What about,
Vegetables.
yes,
Vegetables. Too many.
vegetables? Too many vegetables, lo podemos contar. What about cheese? What about
Much.
Ajá, too much cheese. Porque no estamos diciendo los pedacitos de queso, estamos diciendo solo el queso. Just cheese. What about salad? Can we count the salad?
No.
Not really. What about shish kebabs? Shish kebabs son como los chusitos, como que nosotros le llamamos como carne en palito. But this is kind of this is shish kebabs is kind of for us is carne en palito, but this is for the Asian people, shish kebabs. I think the Turks or the Arabs, they eat it like this, but you can count them, right? Porque puedes contar uno, otro palito, otro palito. I think you can count them, right? Let's see. What about chicken? Can you just count chicken? According to you? What about nuts? What about mushrooms? Or what about chocolate? Which of these could be too many or too much? What do you think? What do you think about nuts? Can you count nuts?
Yes.
Yes, you can count them, right? I could say I'm eating 10 nuts, right? What about mushrooms? Can you count mushrooms?
Yes.
Yes, you can count them. What about chocolate?
Much.
Too much. Ahora, si dijéramos bars of chocolate, las barritas, sí pudiéramos contar. O si dijéramos chocolate bars or chocolate slices o cake slices, también pudiéramos contar. O chocolate, hot chocolate cups, si fuera en una tacita también. And chicken, si lo ponemos, I don't know about chicken. I think it's fine. It's fine. Okay. Why it might be fine chicken like this? Because we're only naming chicken. No estamos diciendo como las presas, no que podemos contar las presitas. Pero chicken puede ser que solamente lo veamos así como uncountable. But we have one more. Let me see. I had one more. That was just the first one. Let me see. I had one more because this might be a little confusing at the beginning. It might be. Let me see. I have another one. Let me go to the chat. Let me share this in the chat. Wait. There you go. Okay, this is the second one. Wait. There we go. This is it. Okay, now, too many or too much or enough. Y le vamos a agregar enough. Okay, let me see. There isn't juice for 20 people.
Enough.
There isn't enough juice. Okay, good. Why is it enough? Because they had only 4, right? And they're talking about 20 people. So there isn't enough. No les va a alcanzar. Okay, what about this one? There are, I only need 2 for the recipe. I only need 2, but there are many, right? So what could be the right one?
Too many.
There are too many porque hay muchas. And I only need 2 for the recipe. Wait, okay. There is floor on the counter.
Much.
Too much, too many, or enough?
Too much. Because I can count.
Yeah, because you cannot count the flour. No es que usted puede contar la harina. I mean, you cannot count because it's powdered, right? So you cannot count it. there isn't, I need to buy more. Because there's very few, right? Too many, too much, or enough. But there isn't. Dice que no hay.
Enough.
There isn't enough. Okay, poquito. There isn't enough rice, so I need to buy some more. Okay, one more. There is. I don't need to buy more. If I don't need to buy more, it means that there is.
A lot of.
It could be a lot of, or it could be enough. Could be any of this, right? Okay, let's see if it's a lot. No, it was just enough. If there is enough, I don't need to buy more, porque como que tiene suficiente. There is water in my glass. Is it too much, too many, or enough? And look at the base, it's full. It's up to. So what do you think? Is it too much, too many, or enough? Too many?
Too many.
But can you count water?
No, too much is too much.
No se puede contar el agua. Then it will be too much. Okay, one more. There is, it's spilling. Se está, is it too much, too many, or enough? Too much. Porque la leche tampoco la podemos contar. Podemos contar los vasos, pero no la leche, right? Okay, there are trees in this park. Can you hear me? Because Veronica says she cannot hear me. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Oh, okay. Let me tell her to check your audio. I don't know what happened. Again, maybe her computer got frozen. There are, can you count the trees? Too many, too much, or many? What do you think?
Too many.
Many, just many, right? It could be too many if it's like, or you could say many too, right? But it's not many, it's too many, porque hay como que muchísimos. Too many trees. What about trash? Trash is the same as garbage. There is in the ocean. Can you count it? Can you really count it? Like that?
No.
No, right? There is too much trash in the ocean, porque no es que podemos ponernos a contar, como que una por una. I mean, we could, but it would be not that easy, right? To count each of them. Let me see. Let me see if we can, let's go to Moodle. And this is what you will find in Moodle. Let me see. Let me share this with you again. But let's write it in here before we go to Moodle. So these are called quantifiers. Quantifiers can be too much, too many, enough. So these are some words to describe if there is enough or not enough or too much of something. Okay, so which of these could be right? How much or how many cups of coffee do you drink a day? Which would be fine? How much or how many cups of coffee? Can you count cups of coffee?
Yes.
Yes, right? So which one would be the right one?
How many?
Wait, I'm sorry, I'm going. How many, right? So in here, we could use these lines to underline like this. And you can actually use another color if you want. If you want to make it red, you can make it red. Maybe, if it's easier for you. How many cups of coffee do you drink a day? Because you can count the cups of coffee, right? What about number 2? I don't spend much or many time in the sun. In here, you can do it like this with colors. So what do you think about the second one? Is it Joel here or Yasid? Can you help me? Which one would be fine? Okay, because you cannot count just the time. You can count hours, right? You can count minutes. But if you talk about the time in general, you cannot count it. So I don't spend much time in the sun. It will be fine. What about number 3? I eat a lot or many chocolate. If we talk about chocolate in general, we're not counting the bars. We're not talking about cups or slices. What about just much, right? I eat a lot of chocolate, just a lot, because we're not counting the amounts of chocolate bars actually. Okay, what about number 4? Drinking a few or a little red wine can be good for you.
A little.
Little.
So what is the difference between a few and a little? Because that might be another, it might not be the same, right? Enough is when you have, you don't need more. I mean, you have enough cookies, you have enough salt, or maybe you have enough bananas. If you are cooking a recipe, enough. Tiene suficiente, no necesita más, right? But if you say you have too many or too much, es cuando como que tiene demasiado de algo. These are words to describe that specifically. How many cups of coffee are you drinking every day? If you are eating too much junk food, right? If you're not eating enough. So these are words to describe. These are called quantifiers, porque ayudan como que a describir la cantidad de algo. Si algo hay mucho de, poco de, demasiado o suficiente de algo, somehow. Okay, well, what is the difference between a few and a little? Again, it's not really the same. A few is something you can actually count, right? A few cups, a few glasses, a few, but a little es algo que, como que uno dice un poquito, ¿no? Un poquito de sal, un poquito de dulce, un poquito de, pero es algo que realmente no lo estamos contabilizando. So that is too much es cuando es algo que es demasiado, or a few, or a little es cuando algo que es poquito, no es todo lo contrario. No es algo que es demasiado, pero es algo que como que es muy poco de, pero algo que se puede contar y algo que no se puede contar. Pero es igual, la regla se aplica igual, pero es lo contrario. Ahora, si yo digo, I only have a few or a little computer games. Es algo que yo, a few, right? Es algo que tal vez no estoy contando. My parents read a lot or a lot of. Esa es otra también. A lot es solamente como para hablar de algo en general. My parents read a lot. Pero si yo digo algo que yo puedo realmente, estoy siendo mucho más específica, algo que yo puedo contar. My parents read a lot of magazines, a lot of books. Y es algo que yo me describo en algo que puedo contar, puedo contabilizar, puedo contar. But that might be the difference. This is just another practice. It's not from the book, but I added in here just in case you want to like do an extra practice. This is for too much or too many or enough. There aren't too much or too many or enough eggs to make cookies, for example. So which could be the right one? There isn't too much or too many or enough water. you eat too much, too many, or enough sugar, and it's bad for your teeth if you eat too much, right? So it's not just about if you can count it or not. You have to read the whole sentence, the whole statement. Porque si dice it's bad for your teeth, entonces no puedo decir que you eat too much sugar is bad for your teeth, ¿no es cierto? If you eat too much sugar is bad for your teeth. Porque estoy hablando de algo que, del azúcar, y el azúcar es algo que tampoco contamos los pequeños cristalitos de azúcar, no se los cuenta, se habla solamente del azúcar. Pero si pudiéramos contar los cuadritos, estos que a veces ven el azúcar, o no los cuadritos, pudiéramos contar las cucharitas de azúcar que le ponemos al café, por ejemplo. Then I can count them, right? I could say that there's too many spoons of sugar. Pero si yo digo sugar, en general, es algo que no lo estoy contando. So that might be the difference. Now, I think this is actually the first grammar test in here. Let me see. Let's go back to 5. This is unit 5C, and this is the first grammar bank. Okay, let's try it together. Again, what about this one? If I talk about chocolate, I eat too much or too chocolate. You have only 2 options. What could be the first one?
Too much.
Too much. Right, too much. What about crisps? Crisps son como las crisps, ellos le llaman crisps a las papitas fritas, pero a las papitas fritas que son como en slices, que son bien finitas. No a las papitas fritas así como larguitas, sino a las papitas fritas que son redonditas, pero así como cortaditas, bien finitas. So can we count them? So which could it be? Too many or too much? ¿Será que yo cuando me como las papitas esas así, yo las estoy contando una por una? What do you think?
Too much.
Too much, porque realmente no me pongo a contarlas, solamente me las como. Puedo contar la funda, pero no cuántas papitas que están adentro, o sea, no las contamos. I don't drink enough water or water enough. According to the rules, the word enough goes before the noun. So it could say, I don't drink enough water. I don't eat enough salt. I don't eat enough sugar. But the word enough is always before. Okay. I can come. I am too much busy or too busy.
Too much busy.
Too much.
In here is just too busy. It's not too much. Porque realmente no es algo que estamos como contando. No es algo que yo estoy contabilizando. Es algo solamente como que estoy demasiado. Estoy muy ocupada. Solamente no estoy refiriéndome a algo que yo estoy comiendo o estoy consumiendo, por ejemplo. Solamente es como que I can't come, I'm too busy. Estoy muy ocupada. Porque busy es un adjetivo. So in here it's just too busy. What about work? You work too many or too much? You can't work if you talk about work. No, right? So you say you work too much. Trabaja demasiado, demasiado. I don't have time enough or enough time. ¿Qué dijimos de la palabra enough?
Enough time.
Enough time. Siempre va antes del sustantivo. I don't have enough time. I don't drink enough water. I don't enough go out or go out enough. Aquí es diferente.
Go out enough.
Go out enough. Porque aquí estamos hablando de un verbo. No podemos dejar el verbo no puedo decir I don't enough go out to, porque aquí tengo un auxiliar. Entonces en este caso tengo que decir I don't go out enough. Son situaciones diferentes. But if I say about lazy, if we talk about she's too lazy or she's too much lazy.
Lazy.
She's too lazy, porque estoy solamente refiriéndome a la descripción de ella, que ella es muy vaga, muy vaguita. Lazy es como vaguito, como nosotros decimos dejadito, ¿no? Como ocioso. Somehow it might be that description. And that's it. That's the last one. But now you try it. Okay, let me see what happened with Christian. Okay, let me see, Christian. What was wrong? I eat too much crisps. So crisps. Oh, was it too many? Not too much. Esta está un poco rara. Let me see. And I think that's the only one, right? Jessica. Let me see, Jessica. So it was too many crisps. Eso puede ser confuso. It might be. Porque realmente cuando comemos las papitas no es como que les contamos, ¿no? Una por una. Crisp no son las papitas fritas, sino son las papitas así como en slices. Pero bueno. It looks like you can count them. Ok, digamos que se pueden contar. Eso a veces es un poco, might be confusing, porque hay cosas que usted dice, ay, ¿lo cuento o no lo cuento? Cosas que puedo contar o no puedo contar. Okay, and I think we have one more. And in here, there's a mix of everything. Enough, too much, or too many, or just two. Okay, let's see. You eat too much red meat, it isn't good for you. Okay, because we're talking about meat, so it's too much. Number 1, I'm not very fit. I don't do
Too much
exercise because I'm not counting the amounts of exercises, right? Just exercise. I can walk to school. It's why you cannot walk? Because it's very far. Instead of saying very far, you could say that it's
too
far.
Too far. It's too far. No puedo caminar porque o sea, es demasiado lejos. It's too far. There are cars on the roads today. Can you count cars? Yes, you can count them. You could say that's too many. Se pueden contar los carros, right? Number 4.
Teacher, I think the
Yes.
number 1 is enough.
Enough, right? Yeah, I was thinking the same. I'm not very fit. I don't do enough exercise because of the sense, right? Too much, it could be fine, but according to the sense of the sentence, right? It might be well to add enough instead of just too much, right? Porque ¿qué es lo que quiere decir aquí? I'm not very fit. I'm not very, in good shape because I don't do enough exercise. I could be fit if I exercise more, but as I am not exercising enough, I am not very fit. Por el sentido, es por el sentido más que por si se lo puede contar o no, más o menos. Yeah, it's fine. Number 4, I spend, what about time?
Too much.
Too much, right? Because we're not counting hours, we're just talking about the time. What about 5? I don't sleep. I only 5 or 6 hours, but I really need 8. So it's not enough, right? Not enough. Because 5 or 6 is not enough for you to be healthy, right? I was ill to go to work yesterday. Since he or she was not feeling well, right?
It's 2.
2, right? Just too ill. I was too ill. I wasn't feeling very well. So that's why he didn't go to work yesterday. There were people at the party, so it was impossible to dance. Can you count people?
No, too much.
Too many.
Pero sí se los puede contar, porque yo puedo decir que había 50 personas, 100 personas. So I can count people. Puedo contar las cabezas, como que habían como 50 personas. So it was impossible to dance because it was crowded. Number 8, I always have
Too much.
too much work and not
Enough.
Free time. So, trabaja demasiado y no tiene suficiente tiempo libre. That's what happens to everybody, right? It happens to all of us. Because time is really limited, right? In here, okay, Maybe at the beginning, some people had some mistakes. Let me see, Said. What happened with Said? Too many cars, okay, porque se pueden contar. There were too many people, podemos contar a las personas también. I have always too much work. Ese too se utiliza siempre con un adjetivo. ¿Se acuerdan que decía too lazy, too busy, too tired? Pero si ya los pongo con un sustantivo, ya no, ahí sería simplemente too much work. Esa podría ser la razón. So that might be the reason why it was not correct. Let me see. Let's see another attempt to see what was the mistake. Angelita. See, Angela. I was too ill. Again, too ill to go to work and too much, just enough free time. Que no siempre es solamente si yo puedo contar o no contar. Tengo que también leer como el sentido de la frase, ¿no? Si yo digo, I always have too much work, ya, tengo mucho trabajo. Entonces, si tengo mucho trabajo, I don't have enough. Why? Because I don't have enough free time. Que tiene sentido. And I think that's the last one. Let me see if we have one more. One more. I think there was one more. Okay, we have one. Oh, but there's some people who already tried it, but let's do it. Okay, then this is the last one. You take the word with a different pronunciation. Okay, so we have the up, boot, bike, and egg. So which words could not have the same pronunciation? Which one has a different pronunciation? But I think I have the audio, not in here, but I have the audio in here. Okay, let's listen.
2.54.
Up. Up. Enough. Much. None. Busy.
Boot. Ooh.
Sound.
Few.
Few.
Cups. Two. Food.
Food.
Bike. I. Quite. Diet. Little. Like.
Thanks.
Egg.
You're welcome.
Many. Any. Healthy. Water.
Okay, so those are the words. So which of these has a different pronunciation? The first one is up. So there's the word enough, much, none, or busy.
Busy.
All right, so that one has a different pronunciation. And I think we need to add this, right? So this is fine, and this is fine. And I think it's the one that has a different, like this, right? I think it should be like this.
O sea, se pone el que ese.
Ajá.
Los otros no.
Claro, los otros no. I think it should be like this, right? The one with the...
Creo que es al revés.
Oh, es al revés. Tiene razón, tiene razón. Yo también estaba pensando, dije, how this could be? Okay. So this is how it should be. The one with the different pronunciation is the one that should be tick with a check mark. Okay, good. So what about boots? Few, cups, two, or food? So which one has a different pronunciation?
Cups.
Because few is fine. Oh, no, sería cups. Cups has a different pronunciation. This is few, two, and food. El mismo sonido. Bike. White, diet, little, or like?
Little.
Little, right? So this should have the check mark. we. Check mark. And this is quiet, diet, like. Same sound. Egg. Many, any, healthy, or water.
What?
Water, right?
Water.
Water. So it has a different sound than many, any, or healthy. Okay, and I think that's it, right? This is how it should be. Okay. And I think that is the last one, right? We are missing just one more speaking practice, but we can leave it. Oh, this is just, oh, let me see. It's not. Let me see. I think I add something as a speaking practice. Let me see, what is it? Ah, okay, it's another Wordwall link with questions. Okay, but we can ask those questions next week so we can start the class. So now